So good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's really good to have you guys back in the channel. First thing I'd like to say is thanks so much for the additional subscribers that we're starting to get. Really exciting to have you on board. I hope we were able to make some material or channel content that you guys like. We're going into a whole different period now because I've got different ideas. It's a bit of travel into Thailand. As I said, I'm flying on Etihad in business class. I've flown them once before, but not the full journey. I've only done half the journey. So I'll be seeing the airport in Abu Dhabi for the very first time, the new one, the new terminal, which I'm pretty excited to see. And also, I've never had any time in the lounge at Heathrow. So we're going from Heathrow Terminal 4, flying this evening. So overnight, a bit of a layover, 3.5 hours. I think it might be a little bit shorter now because I just got an email a couple of minutes ago that the flight's delayed by an hour. Hopefully that won't continue, but whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You know, when you're in the lounge, you can have a couple of drinks, eat something, so it's not such a hardship. I think I'll be able to manage. I'll try very hard. I'm doing this one with a microphone up close because I tend to find that a lot of background noise gets picked up. I'm going to do this quite a bit, so I hope it sounds okay to you guys. So listen, I really want you to come along on this trip. I'll try and show you as much as I possibly can. Stuff I've not really done in the past because a lot of the other stuff I've produced has never really been for channel content, whereas today is really officially the first time that's what the case is going to be. So guys, come along on the journey. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope this is something you guys are going to enjoy. So let's go. Okay, we're here now, Terminal 4 Heathrow, and we're going to be going in shortly. I think you might maybe see it behind me over there. I'm not quite sure what the sound's going to be like because it's pretty windy, but I'm going to sort of walk in. I've got another little camera to do it, so let's see what we can have a look here. Okay, we're here at business check-in now for Etihad, section C in the airport, so we shall see how this all goes. I can't, although we've got 4G connectivity, it's almost like Britain's backwards because it's absolute rubbish. Anyway, let's see how this goes, and we'll take some footage in a bit.
Final destination.
Hello. Yeah, it is. It's just a little fibre optic thingy.
So do you mind?
Yeah. Lovely.
Boarding card, the first flight to Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
So it's 1 hour delay now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So okay, we'll be now in the lounge, and then Abu Dhabi to Bangkok, gate number D48. Okay.
Okay.
Now for the box D27, this is the next call.
Yeah, go get this out. Okay, so that was a bit of a mission going through the check-in process because I brought an extra box, but I'll update you guys just now. Okay, so right now I'm going into the lounges. Okay, I'm just going to talk quite quietly. So I've come through to check-in, which started okay. The lady behind the check-in was lovely. We got checked in, no problem. And then I had a couple of other things I was bringing. I was bringing, oddly enough, a Christmas tree and a fan, but I tied them together and then wrapped them up. And she said that's an oversized item, so I just had to go to a different section of the airport, and they put it through a different way. Well, I then did that, and then they were going to say we're going to reject it because it looks like two pieces of luggage and it's been put together as one. It's playing silly buggers basically. So I had to go back to check in, unwrap the second box that was tied together to keep everything neat. Then they had to reissue another little label and then go back to the other place, and then it went through. So hopefully those things arrive when I get to Bangkok. That's kind of the hope anyway. So yeah, not a very cool beginning, but I can't put that on Etihad. I think this is airport handling, so I think it's a whole different situation. So then went through security, etc. It was really quick. The fast track was absolutely great, no issues there. Was through quite a nice change. I didn't have to take my shoes and belt off, which is a pleasant change. So yeah, that went through okay. Then what you will find the Etihad lounge, it's by gate 10. So as you come through fast track security, you take a right and then head down towards gate 10. It's quite easy to find, no issues there. I tell you what I did get was a really quite pleasant surprise, is that when I arrived here, I've actually had service. Normally when I go to a lounge, you have to sort yourself out, go around, look at food and get it, but they've actually got like waiter service. They've just like, look, got a Guinness, just ordered. Fantastic. So yeah, thumbs up for that. I'll try and get a wander around as well to see what the lounge looks like. But generally it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, one little learning point I've had the Insta360 Go 3 attached to my bag just on the outside to try and sort of take some footage as I walk. I didn't seem to get very good footage from that, to be honest. The angles were all over the place, and when I thought it was on, it was off, and vice versa. So yeah, that's a bit of a fail. I shall try and improve on that as I move through the process. But yeah, the lounge is actually very nice, I have to say. I don't know what the quality of food looks like. I've taken you around to have a look. Not particularly looking to eat yet, because I'd rather eat on the plane. We have been delayed by an hour. I've never actually had a delay with Etihad before, but you know, these things happen. It's not the end of the world. I could be in a far worse place with a delay, so we'll keep you updated as we go. So I'm not sure if you can hear me, but here we are on board on the lovely A380, one of my favourite airlines, I have to admit. I mean planes, not airlines as such. So I will show you around the seat in just a couple of moments, but right now I'm just going to settle myself in, and hopefully I'm right over the wing, so I'm not quite sure if I can get any footage, but I'm going to damn well try for sure. So that was amazing. A bit of a hot towel, which is a great experience because it always refreshes you a little bit. I have a fantastic glass of champagne right in front of me, and I'm about to buckle up because we're going to be pushing back in not so long a moment. So hey guys, hang in there, we've got more to show you. Let us explore the seat. I think that makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so I haven't looked at the actual entertainment as such, but I will right now. Hold on. Okay, I'm just giving you as it happens, as they say. I'll have a quick squiz at the old movies. Ooh, something I've saved for myself, Killers of the Flower Moon. That's something I wanted to watch on Apple, which I have at home, but Oppenheimer is another one I'd love to see. But look guys, from the first point of view, yeah, it looks alright. I'll just give it a bit of a flick and let's see what we look. So these are all the new movies, and to be honest with you, yeah, pretty damn good selection. Definitely good selection. Let's go back and have a bit of a squiz around the other parts of the old entertainment system. Everybody loves the flight path. Let's have a look at the map for the trip this evening. Ooh, we wait with bated breath. So guys, I'm giving you this in real time so you understand the speed in which it takes. So that just shows London to Abu Dhabi. Local time is 10:23. We're a little bit late, as I'm sure you already know, but that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Local time, distance traveled 0 miles. Here we go. You've got an option of cameras here on the plane, which is pretty cool. That's nice to see. We'll show you right now what we've got. I will try and find out as much information as I can here. It's absolutely awesome. It's beautiful. I'm going to just show you a shot I've got slightly over the wing. I'll give that a... Okay, you can sort of see that. I'll try and take some footage when we are about to set ourselves off into the sky. But that is this machine is absolutely beautiful, I have to say. This A380 is stunning. So good morning from Abu Dhabi, the time, local time, just before 9 a.m. English time, a lot earlier. Great flight, a lovely plane, food was fantastic. This lounge is pretty cool. It's my first time in this airport, so this is a whole new one for me. I will try and take some footage, but my battery is not looking too great. But I will take a bit of a walk in a moment and try and get this. It's a very interesting lounge in that it's like sort of thin and long, if that makes sense. It's not like a big wide open space, but I'm on the middle level, and I believe actually what I wanted was some fruit just to like perk me up a little bit. I feel so tired. Going to have a little walk and go upstairs and see what response we get from that. Try and grab myself another little bit of electricity and try and charge up this old camera as soon as I can. But yeah, nice airport, not too far from the gate. Don't know how far it is to walk. My gate's that other way. That makes a lot of sense when I'm talking in a video, I know, but yeah, it's kind of halfway between where I landed and where we're taking off, and I have 30 minutes to boarding, which is actually quite cool because we were supposed to have a 3.5 hour layover, but because the flight was delayed from Heathrow, London Heathrow, we are obviously on a shorter layover, which is it's actually pretty cool. What I really want to do is grab myself a little snooze. I slept really well on the plane, which is actually the first time ever, but I just didn't get enough, so my bad. So I'm going to grab myself some fruit, I think, maybe another coffee, and when we get on board, I don't know what food's going to be on offer, but have a little nibble, and then probably, because we're going into, so it's 9 in the morning here, it's 3 hours ahead in Bangkok, so it's 10, 11, 12, so it's 12 o'clock in Bangkok, and then we fly out, and it's a 6-hour flight, so we arrive roughly 8 o'clock tonight. So yeah, still a bit of a way to go, but hey, this is cool. It's, you know, there's worse things to do in life, I have to be honest, and this is alright. Okay, not sure if you can hear me very well. One little error in judgment I made, and I'll give this as advice to others. As much as I brought enough connectors and batteries and blah de blah de blah, I only brought one common cable between my camera and my computer, which is a bit of a pain because both of them are running low. So there you go. Okay, so here's the lounge. Nice view on the apron. I'll show you in a moment. I'll just go over there and just like that. Okay. That's pretty cool to see that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in search of some fruit, hopefully. It's kind of what I fancy, fruit and a coffee. We've got toilets and all the rest of it here. It's pretty good. There's a games room. I saw this actually on YouTube, funny enough. But yeah, you got this little games room here. Good if you've got travelling with children, or actually if you're a bit of a gamey person, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. It's a good old chill out zone, really, actually. I must admit, I love the fact that you can just look on the apron there and see what you see. Okay, here we go. We're going up. I think this is the top level, actually. I believe I was in the middle, so we'll see in a minute. Okay, this looks more chilled, actually. Looks like they have a restaurant area. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. I'll sort of show you anyway. There's quite a lot of the chill out area here, which is pretty cool. And we'll hopefully go and find some fruit. Oh, there we go. Looks like there's a bar if you're up for drinking first thing in the morning, which I am not. Oh, I just want a bed. How sad. Okay, this is pretty nice because you've got a lovely view of the apron. You can see all the activity. There isn't any, but it's nice if you did. Like, I'll just show you here. Look at this. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. What a great view. That plane looks so little considering I've just come off on a A380. It's teeny. But yeah, very cool. Looks like there's a bar up here actually, so we'll coffee station. They're liking this. Okay, so got a bit of a coffee station which I will return to shortly. But right now what I want is power and fruit. But I'm thinking I'm not going to get it here. I might be wrong. Let's just see, shall we? Okay, people are walking away with something, so they must. Oh, there's food. That's seafood. Good thing. Shut areas here. This is nice. This is a lot nicer than the old lounge. The old lounge felt like a canteen, but this is pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Yep, fruit. That's what I was after. Let's see if there's power. I've got a bit of fruit. Although the fruit looks exceedingly sad. You know what? That's not exactly inspiring me, I have to say. I think I might just wait till we get on board. Maybe grab another coffee or something like that. Yeah, this food looks a bit sad. Hoping that charge point might be on the other end. I will grab myself a coffee. I think I forgot to take my water. Silly bugger. Okay. Up for Coffee Planet, as it's called. I can't believe I forgot my sugar. I mean my water. Righty. Oh, there's no cup. Oh, there is. Silly bugger. All right, here we go. Okay. Okay, guys, here we go. All right, we shall have ourselves a cappuccino. That'll do. Okay, guys, just to let you know, I have got myself another cup of coffee, which is fantastic. This lounge is really quite nice. It's on 3 levels, so the middle level does not appear to have any food that I can see. There is food up here, and there's also a bar if you're up for drinking in the morning, which I'm not. But yeah, the food, for maybe time of day, probably looks a little bit sorry for itself. So I opted not to have anything. I thought I'd just go for another coffee and a water. But I believe floor 1, which I didn't really look around, that has food as well. So you've got 2 floors with food, and then the middle floor is kind of a possibly a chill out zone, I guess. You can still, even where we are now, we've got a great view of the apron. There's not a lot of activity. I did see one plane taking off, but yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. It's a great deal better than it used to be. The lounge, the previous one, honestly just felt like a canteen. This feels a little bit more like a lounge. I have to say though, the Heathrow lounge was really good, very, very good. Probably from my personal experience, one of the best lounges I've had. And even doing first class with Emirates, and I'm not including Dubai, but I'm talking about Heathrow, I would say Etihad edges them a great deal, and that is just for business class. So Emirates, something to learn. So yeah, we had full service there. It was fantastic. So anyway, we will be moving along in about 15 minutes onto the next flight, and I'm kind of looking forward to having a little sleep again. I had a good sleep on the one. I want to have another one. Right, signing off for now. We're on the second leg now, which is from Abu Dhabi to Bangkok on the 787-9. Nice plane. The sort of setup's pretty much the same as one before. The one thing I couldn't show you last night is as you can see there's 2 USB ports there, which actually I'm going to try in a minute because I need to charge that. But yeah, that's pretty handy. And also down here, I'll try and show you now. Oh yeah, this is the Apple Mint P, whatever it is. I can't remember. I haven't tried it yet. I'll tell you in a minute what it's like. But everyone raves about it, so I'll give it a go. Right. Okay, you can see I'm plugged in down there. So you've got basically a UK connection, 3-pin standard UK. So if you bring your own adapter, that works perfectly well for you. So bear that in mind. Right, here we go now. Okay, here we go. Okay, good morning everybody. Here we go. This is oh, it smells interesting. I've seen these guys on channels drinking this, so I thought, hey, let's give it a go. I have to say I'm quite peckish. Okay, so I've just been introduced to the man in charge of this cabin. His name's Marco, so kind of close to my name, which is pretty good. And yeah, so far, I have to say, yeah, it's a lot of attention, which is nice. It is a great airline, and I have to say, this particular drink is pretty nice. So, all you YouTubers that have recommended this, points to you. This is actually very, very pleasant. It's really refreshing, actually. Wow. Yeah, I'm really glad I chose that. I was going to go for the orange juice, but actually it's much nicer, I have to tell you. So guys, I'll try and update you as we go along on the flight. The seat itself is as it was on the previous flight, really nice. So it's kind of slightly private, I guess. You don't sort of see many people. You kind of see across there, but the truth is I'm probably just going to lie down and sleep. So alright guys, we'll catch up with you as we go. We're still, I think we're about 20 minutes or so from taxiing, so we haven't pushed back yet. it's excuse me, I know it's quite traditional to do what they call the loo review, and I haven't been able to bring myself to do that. What I can tell you is the loo review for the A380 and this Boeing 787. The loos are nice. They have Acqua di Parma products in there. They've got automatic hand washing, so you just and also automatic flushing, which is always very nice, and on the whole very clean. So yeah, that's my loo review without going in there with a camera, because yeah, I can't do it yet, guys. So respect to you, dude, to go in the toilet with a camera next time maybe. So overall impression of the experience, I have to say it was pretty much up there as a great experience. It really was. The flights were slightly different in the sense that we were flying different aircraft models. On the way from London through to Abu Dhabi, we were on the A380, an amazing aircraft. You may see that in the video. I state that the seat quality was very good. If I were to have a criticism, I would say possibly thin, but this is an aircraft, what do we expect? And it isn't first class. So for a business class seat, lovely. It has a slight sense of privacy that other business seats don't necessarily give you. All the facilities around the seat were very, very useful, and I used a lot of them. The staff on the flights were absolutely lovely, as were the ground staff at Heathrow and indeed Abu Dhabi. Everyone was extremely helpful, really, went the extra mile to make sure you were good. You were well looked after, rather. The quality of the food was absolutely fantastic. There's nothing I could have criticized in that area. And I just thought the sleep on the A380 part anyway was amazing. It's probably the best I've slept on an aircraft ever. Leg 2, which was the 787-9, again, same situation. Had a great experience with the staff. They were really attentive. The ground staff, everything was good. I can't fault that. I do have a couple of caveats to what I'm about to say, because not everything's 100%, and I'll tell you why. So let's just put this in perspective. The whole experience was absolutely wonderful. I'll bring up the price, what I paid, coming up near the end, so you get a figuring out of how much it cost and the value for money and so forth. So a couple of little things that I wasn't particularly pleased with. Firstly, the amenity kit. This is the third time I've flown on Etihad, and they give you the lovely Acqua di Parma amenity kit, and usually it has the aftershave in it, and now that's no longer there. So it feels a little bit like taking something away that they just could have kept, because it's only a little sample bottle anyway. So I don't see how that can be such a massive expense that they can't just leave it in there. So it's a nice little smell. It's nice to freshen up after a long flight. So that's one little disappointment. And the other one, I'd heard, and I believe it probably is true, but I'd heard that they issued pajamas on long haul flights. So I was kind of looking forward to that. And that was a new thing they were bringing back, as well as the mattress topper that they had. But as far as I can understand, I never asked the question, because I just wanted to see what happened on the flight without me, poking around as to what they do and don't do. I think it's only issued if you go on a 9-hour plus flight, which is a little disappointing, especially when one of those flights was overnight, arriving in the middle of the night. And I think, it's quite nice to get into something comfortable. It's pushed out on the websites that this does happen, but I think a little bit of clarity around that. The other thing that I noticed on the website when making the booking was that it offered a chauffeur service. So when I went in to book at the chauffeur service, which I'd had in the past on Emirates, it wanted to charge me something like £150, and I thought, gosh, that's not good. So I did get hold of them. I phoned them, and they basically clarified this chauffeur service is only available within Abu Dhabi for this particular product. So that clarified that. Again, not very clear when you're doing the booking, because when you've got it booked up, it says, right now, book your chauffeur service. And when you go to do it, there's a price attached, which surprised me. But it's not a biggie. It's just, I think a little bit more clarification would be good on the website as to, whether the chauffeur service is available and where it's available, and not in the small print. I mean a fairly big print for silly people like me who need it to be pointed out. Second leg of the flight, the other thing I didn't enjoy, and it wasn't anything to do with Etihad in this case, it was just a personal experience. We had a screaming child in the business class cabin, which was just so frustrating, because I'm trying to get a bit of sleep, and this child it sounded like a temper tantrum to me. It didn't sound like a child in pain. So that was a little frustrating that the parents didn't step in and do something. I've been on a plane, my own experience with children in the past, my children, and I've always tried to make an effort to calm it down. So that was a little frustrating. I don't know whose responsibility that would be, but it just took away a little bit from the process. Going through, and you'll notice in this particular video, there's no content on Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok. So the plan is I'm going to do part 2 of this trip. I'm going the reverse trip with Etihad as well, business class, and I'll be taking the reverse. So I'll do a lot more footage of Suvarnabhumi Airport, going through and explain how that process is. But coming into the airport, I have to say everything was pretty good. It was pretty quick because you get priority service, you whiz through. I made a little error in that I booked an e-visa and then realized actually I won't be staying as long as I think, so I left the visa at home, and then when I came to immigration they asked me for the e-visa, and I had to move around and search through my emails and so forth to try and find a copy, but I hadn't thought I needed it. I thought I would just get the 30-day visa on entry. However, I had applied for the e-visa, and that's a little bit of advice. If you do apply for the e-visa, then make sure you bring it with you. Don't do what I did. Last thing to say is a big thank you to everybody who have been supporting us and who are watching the channel and sharing. Please continue to do that. Please support the channel by sharing, clicking, subscribing, so we can grow. At the moment, as you can imagine, creating content is a rather costly experience, so it would be really helpful if we can get up those viewers and subscribers and try and generate a better channel overall. Final point is cost. So this particular flight cost me £2,700, and it is bearing in mind 2 flights in business class. I have had no sponsorship from Etihad. None of this is, as I say, sponsored. I think it's a reasonable price for the service that you get, the level of service certainly, and I'm not referring to the amenities and stuff, but just the level of service is pretty up there. It's good. It's certainly cheaper than a lot of other opposing airlines. It's not necessarily the cheapest, but I think for the product you get, you're paying a decent thing. So that's the situation on this one, £2,700 roughly. And that's about it. So until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, I really look forward to being with you again soon. Take care.